Now let me ask you, have you ever averaged down on a loser, added more just because it dropped? That's one of the biggest psychological traps in trading. I don't add to losing trades, ever. Why would I reinforce a belief that's already proven wrong if the market's showing me I'm out of alignment? My only job is to recognize that truth and step aside. But traders do it every day. They think they're being clever, improving their average price. What they're really doing is reinforcing denial, digging deeper into a mental illusion. And do you know why they average down? Because they can't emotionally accept being wrong. Ego. That's another major reason traders fail. The ego refuses to take a small objective loss. It whispers, "Hold on, the market will come back. You can't be wrong." But the market isn't personal. It doesn't care about your opinions or pride. It reflects pure information, not your self-worth. The moment you identify with a trade, you lose objectivity. Pride has no place in trading. The market humbles everyone eventually. The sooner you surrender the need to be right, the freer you'll become. Another thing, most traders don't think in probabilities. They crave certainty. They want to know what will happen next. But markets don't offer certainty. They offer potential outcomes. That's all. And your job is to operate within those probabilities, not to predict them. A trader must think like a casino owner, not a fortune teller. But most people try to guess the future, instead of responding to what is. And when the market contradicts them, they react emotionally. Anger, frustration, revenge trading. Do you see how the trap forms? Let's talk about capital. Most people come to the markets undercapitalized. They're trading with money tied to survival. Rent money, grocery money, borrowed money. That emotional attachment guarantees failure. The market demands a state of neutrality, and you can't stay neutral if the outcome affects your basic needs. Trading from desperation puts you in a fear-based state where clarity disappears. Tell me, if losing one trade means you can't pay your bills, how could you ever make objective decisions when price moves against you? You can't. The market will sense that fear and consume you. But understand this, many with plenty of capital still fail. Why? Because they think money solves emotional instability. It doesn't. The key isn't capital, it's control. Control of self, of your beliefs, expectations, greed, and fear. Capital magnifies who you already are. Without self-discipline, I've seen wealthy traders implode faster than beginners because they mistake financial power for mental mastery. It isn't. Trading exposes your psychology, not your balance sheet. Now let's go deeper. Why do you trade? Is it for excitement? For the thrill, the rush, the sense of aliveness? If that's your motivation, you're already in trouble. Trading for stimulation is gambling disguised as work. The market isn't a casino, though most treat it like one. It's a mirror, reflecting discipline, patience, and self-trust. Approach it as a business, a process driven by probabilities, consistency, and structure. Without a defined edge and a disciplined mindset, you'll end up like every other thrill seeker who thought they could beat randomness. Another big reason traders fail: they chase the market. They can't let opportunities unfold naturally. They see price moving fast and jump in out of fear of missing out, or they panic sell when it drops, terrified of being left behind. That's emotional trading, impulsive, reactive, unsustainable. You can't chase price and expect consistency. It's like trying to grab a moving flame. You'll get burned every time. That I can't miss this one feeling. That's your subconscious fear of lack talking, not your strategy. The best trades are never forced. They're recognized. The highest probability setups always feel boring. The market always circles back to offer a clear entry if the move is real. But most traders can't wait. They want constant engagement. They need action to feel in control. And that need for control ironically, is what makes them lose it. Here's another mistake. Traders try to pick tops and bottoms. They want to look smart, to catch the exact turning point. But that's just ego-seeking validation. I don't pick bottoms or tops. I wait for confirmation, evidence that the market structure supports my thesis. That means I miss the very start and the very end, but I capture the high-probability middle, the zone of least resistance. That's where consistency lives. Would you rather be admired for calling the bottom once or wealthy from managing risk over hundreds of trades? Most people choose the first, and that's why they stay broke. Another fatal flaw. Traders don't adapt. They cling to what used to work, ignoring that the market is a dynamic, evolving organism. The environment changes, volatility shifts, participants rotate, but the average trader insists reality must align with their expectations. The professional adapts. The amateur resists. The market doesn't punish or reward. It simply responds. It's you who creates the outcome through your perception. Now, do you see why most traders fail? It's not because the game is rigged. It's not because institutions hide some secret formula. It's because most people never master themselves. They don't have the patience, the emotional stability, or the self-awareness to operate in uncertainty. They sabotage themselves. They're not competing against the market. They're competing against their own psychology. Think of it this way. The market is like an ocean. You can't control the waves. You can only learn how to surf them. Most traders dive in without understanding the current, and then wonder why they drown. And here's a truth that stings. Most traders fail because they can't stay still. They think money is made by doing something. Buying, selling, reacting. But real profits come from allowing, from being right, and staying aligned with that truth. That's the hardest discipline of all. Anyone can enter a trade. Few can stay in one without the need to control the outcome. Patience feels like pain to the untrained mind. Watching profits fluctuate feels unbearable when your self-worth is tied to every tick. So they overmanage, they move stops, they second-guess. That's emotional volatility, not market volatility. Do you watch every tick and feel your heart race? That's not trading. That's self-sabotage. Hope and fear. Those two emotions have destroyed more traders than any crash or manipulation ever could. You might think it's the market makers or news events that take you out, but it's not. It's internal. Hope and fear are the invisible forces that distort perception and decision-making. Let's break it down. When the market moves against you, what's the first emotion that rises? Hope. You hope it turns around. You hope your belief gets validated. Hope delays the acceptance of truth. And that delay increases pain. You don't exit because hope whispers, wait, it'll come back. And the longer you wait, the more attached you become. That's emotional paralysis disguised as patience. Then there's fear. When the market moves in your favor, what happens? You stop trusting it. You think, well, what if it reverses? What if I lose this gain? Fear makes you exit too soon. You cut winners short. You trade from avoidance instead of trust. Instead of allowing the probabilities to play out, you interrupt them. That's why most traders never reach their potential. They're not losing to the market. They're losing to their own untrained mind. The solution isn't more information. It's transformation. Master yourself, and the market will reflect that mastery back to you. Tell me, have you ever closed a winning position only to watch it keep running higher without you? That's fear at work. And here's the irony. Most traders do the exact opposite of what consistency requires. They hold on to losers out of hope and cut winners out of fear. It's completely inverted logic. Yet it's the most common psychological pattern in the market. That's why almost everyone fails. They don't fail because they can't analyze a chart or pick a stock. They fail because they can't manage themselves when they're right or wrong. I've watched countless traders repeat this cycle, generation after generation. They enter a position, price ticks against them, and instead of acknowledging invalidation, they add more. It has to come back, they say. That's hope. The refusal